Alrighty guys, we're back for some Naya Oil, and this is a March of the Machine, the Aftermath Standard Brew. We're gonna go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Redcat and I play aggro decks, and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to ya. Also, we do got that Discord link down in the description if you're interested in joining that up. Okay, what do we got packed into the build here? First of all, this was a suggestion down in the comments like months ago. So thank you so much for the suggestion. I was going through all the old decks that I didn't get a chance to play yet, and I was like, oh, I definitely got to spruce this one up with some new cards. So that's what I did. Added some cards with incubator tokens and stuff. So yeah, let's go over all the oil stuff first. We got the Filigree Sylex in here. This is a 2-mana legendary artifact. You can tap it to put an oil counter on Filigree Sylex. Tap it, sack it, destroy each non-land permanent with mana value equal to the number of oil counters on Filigree Sylex. And you can tap it, remove 10 oil counters from among permanents you control and sacrifice Filigree Sylex. It deals 10 damage to any target. It's actually a pretty good card, guys. Honestly, the oil cards in general are pretty decent. More oil cards. Tablet of Completion. This is a 2-mana artifact. You tap it, put an oil counter on Tablet of Completion. You can tap it to add a colorless mana. Activate only if Tablet of Completion has 2 or more oil counters on it. And then you can pay 1, tap it to draw a card. Activate only if Tablet of Completion has 5 or more oil counters on it. It's a pretty good card, guys. Honestly, I think that the only reason this didn't see play was because Reckoner Bankbuster was competing for the spot, man. So maybe we'll see more Tablet of Completion now that Bankbuster's gone. But honestly, who knows? Bankbuster was very, very good. and this one does seem pretty decent, though. Okay, we got Norn's Wellspring here. This is a 2-mana artifact, 1 and a white. Whenever a creature you control dies, scry 1. Put an oil counter on Norn's Wellspring. Then you can pay 1, tap it, remove 2 oil counters from Norn's Wellspring, draw a card. Alright, not half bad, guys. More oil, Churning Reservoir. This is a 1-mana artifact. It's 1 red. At the beginning of your upkeep, put an oil counter on another target non-token artifact or creature you control. Nice. Just more ways to get oil onto all the stuff that we just went over. Sounds good to me, but it also has a bottom ability here. For 2, you can tap it, create a 1/1 red Phyrexian Goblin creature token. Activate only if an oil counter was removed from a permanent you controlled this turn, or a permanent with an oil counter on it was put into a graveyard this turn. All right. So I think Churning Reservoir looks pretty decent, man. It's kind of like I said, the oil cards are just kind of decent in general. So more oil stuff. Urabrask's Forge. This is a 3-mana artifact. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put an oil counter on Urabrask's Forge. Then create an X1 red Phyrexian Horror creature token with trample and haste, where X is the number of oil counters on Urabrask's Forge. Sacrifice that token at the beginning of your next end step. So this could be a great way to wrap up the game later on. Somewhere between the mid and late game, hopefully a couple Urabrask's Forge can help you wrap it up, right? So Migloz Maze Crusher is also considered an oil card because it enters the battlefield with 5 oil counters on it. So it's a 3-mana 4/4, which is already decent, rocking Gruul colors up there. Now you can pay 1, remove an oil counter from Migloz. It gains Vigilance and Menace until end of turn. Pay 2, remove 2 oil counters from Migloz. It gets +2/+2 until end of turn. You can pay 3, remove 3 oil counters from Migloz, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Yep, just a really good card, isn't it? All right, we got some incubator cards in here. Progenitor Exarch. I think that's how we would pronounce all that, maybe. So for double X and a white, it's a 1/2, and when it enters the battlefield, incubate 3 X times. So if you consider this like a 3-mana card, then you would incubate 3 once. If it's a 5-mana card, you would incubate 3 twice. That seems pretty decent, but honestly, don't worry too much if you have to play this out as a 1-mana card. It's still a 1/2, and it still has this ability where you can tap it, transform target incubator token you control. Not half bad, guys. It really isn't. Especially when we also have Norn's Inquisitor in here. This is a 2-mana 1/1, and when it enters the battlefield, you incubate 2. Whenever a permanent you control transforms into a Phyrexian, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Now, the cool thing about incubator tokens, guys, is whenever you create the incubator tokens, you put that many +1/+1 counters on them. So since they're getting counters, it works really well with the proliferate card. So we have all 4 Contagious Vorrac. This is a 3-mana 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a land card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. If you didn't put a card into your hand this way, proliferate. So honestly, in this deck in particular, I don't think you're going to be worrying about that land too often. Now, there's definitely going to be some moments where you want that land, but you're probably going to have a whole bunch of stuff that's going to work with that proliferate. So all your incubator tokens, all the cards that have oil, the Vorrac is going to be terrific with all of it. Okay, getting to the top end of the build, we have 3 Depopulates, just a 4-mana sorcery. Each player who controls a multicolored creature draws a card, then destroy all creatures. Yep, solid, man. Another board wipe, burn down the house. We only have 1 of them. It's a 5-mana sorcery. Wait, what am I doing, guys? You guys know burn down the house, and don't forget, those devils really come in handy if you don't gotta wipe the board, so that's a reason for at least going for 1 burn down the house instead of all 4 Depopulates, you know what I mean? Now, Karn, Legacy Reforged, I think this card's actually going to be terrific in here. It's a 5 mana, its power and toughness are each equal to the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. In this deck in particular, it's just going to be a 5/5, which is completely fine because it's really in here for that bottom ability. At the beginning of your upkeep, add a colorless mana for each artifact you control. This mana can't be spent to cast non-artifact spells, which we have so many artifacts in here already. Until the end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. So we have so many artifacts packed in here, it's not going to be unheard of to just like add, I don't know, 6 colorless mana. And at that point, you have all your land too, so you're going to be able to activate a lot of these abilities just with the Karn in general, like the Norn's Wellspring, it's 1 and tap it, right? The bottom ability on the Tablet of Completion is 1 and tap it. The Churning Reservoir ability is 2 and tap it, right? So there's just, I mean, even the Migloz has abilities on here that can work with the Karn. So yeah, I think Karn's going to be terrific in this one. Okay, the mana base I thought about for a little bit. I really hope it doesn't hold us up at all. I don't think it will, especially since a lot of our 2-drops are colorless anyways. So it is 24 total. We actually do have a little bit of ramp on the tablet and the Vorrac, so I'm not worried. I think 24 is actually going to be perfect for this one. 4 of the cards in the mana base is Monumental Facade, which is going to be pretty important, honestly. So when it enters the battlefield, it gets 2 oil counters on it, and then you can tap it to remove an oil counter from the Monumental Facade. Put an oil counter on target artifact or creature you control, activate only as a sorcery. So being able to take that counter and just plug an extra counter into Tablet of Completion so you're getting those abilities a turn sooner or 2 turns sooner if you activate the Facade for the completion again sounds pretty good, but also it's a great way to store extra oil counters whenever you proliferate with the Vorrac too, because you can proliferate onto that land as well. So I think all 4 is going to be important. And again, I hope it doesn't hold us up at all because it is a 3-color deck. So if the only land we see is Monumental Facade, then it's obviously going to hold us up at that point, right? Of course, all 4 Jetmir's Garden going to be important. We're opting for early land with the Thicket and the Copperline Gorge and no Pain land this time, because I actually am running into a lot of mono red and a lot of soldiers, and boy oh boy do they know how to plug damage through. So yeah, no Pain lands, just opting for some early land. Couple pass, couple veils. We got Crucible and a Seat of the Empire in here as well, leaning towards the white because that is what the deck is leaning towards, right? Some more land in the honorable mentions over here. I thought about the Mycosynth Gardens. I really feel like this belongs somewhere, and maybe this would have been a good deck to try it out in, honestly. If you guys want to try out the Gardens, I would drop 1 Facade and go up the Gardens, especially since it has that ability where you can pay 1, tap it, add 1 mana of any color. That could really come in handy. It's got that X ability. X, tap it, Mycosynth Gardens becomes a copy of target non-token artifact you control with mana value X. Honestly, could be pretty decent. It really could be, so I don't know. It's something I really considered. I didn't have room for the Huinders necessarily. I didn't want just a green source because we're really splashing that green for the Vorrac and the Maze Crusher. So I don't know if Huinders is worth it in this particular build. Okay, Furnace Bomb was a card I considered. Expand the Sphere was a card I considered as well. I think Vorac's just going to be a lot better here. Sunfall is exile all creatures, incubate X, where X is the number of creatures exiled this way. I think that incubate's good, but the exile all creatures really doesn't work well with the Norn's Wellspring, where it's whenever a creature you control dies, scry 1. So obviously, in that case, the Depopulate and the Burn Down the House work much better with the Norn's Wellspring, so that's why there's no Sunfall in this particular build. I also just wanted to bring up Cosmic Rebirth real quick. A 3-mana instant speed. It's got Selesnya colors up there. You choose a target permanent card in your graveyard. If it has mana value 3 or less, you put it onto the battlefield. If you don't put it onto the battlefield, put it into your hand, and then you still gain 3 life. Is this card just not good? Like, I think this card looks pretty decent, man. I actually considered it a lot for this build because, you know, you end up sacrificing Filigree Sylex sometimes. It would be cool to maybe bring that back with a Rebirth, gain 3, but this particular build doesn't really profit from having instant speed stuff too much, and so I think that instant speed on the Cosmic Rebirth happens to be a key player there, where if we had more instant speed removal or something, I don't know, just a card I wanted to bring up because I think it looks pretty good. I want to build something with Cosmic Rebirth at some point. But that's besides the point, huh? Let's go ahead, take this into some ranked and see how we do. Right into that first game, guys. What am I expecting from the build? I am expecting it to be a challenging build to play. So we'll see, we'll see. It's not a bad starting hand by any means. Start with Jetmir's Garden, start getting the thickets down. Yep, this is a good hand, man. We just want to make sure we get Facade down before the Vorrac hits. I love having the Maze Crusher, which is probably going to be our turn 3. We're going first here too, dude. Oh man. Norn's Inquisitor, that's good. Wow, everything just seems good right now, man. Actually gonna go Inquisitor in case that's a Spell Pierce. It's gonna be a Consider. So if it was a Spell Pierce, Tablet of Completion would have gotten gobbled up. And I like Tablet of Completion, so also getting a creature down isn't terrible. Facade number 2. It's going to be Thicket. Yeah, I think it's fine to only have one Facade down when it comes time. We could power up, we could go Completion. It's going to be the Migloz Maze Crusher for the turn, but it probably doesn't land is the problem. But I'd rather this get countered than the Vorrac because I want to get the Proliferate on the Tablet and the Facade and the Incubator token for that matter. So, wow, Hadi Jin just lands. Oh, Facade number 3. Funny enough, I don't think any of that's gonna hold us. I don't think any of that's gonna hold us back, man. Let's go Tablet of Completion. It's too bad that this is the turn that we don't have like a board wipe for the Jin or something, because we would have had enough mana for a Depopulate. So we're gonna go Oil counter, make sure it has one, right? And we are just going to power this up, I would say. Yeah, because it'll be a 3-3. We can successfully swing with the 3-3, but it doesn't seem worth it. Actually, if we would have done that first, maybe they would have taken the 3. Okay, the last turn, guys, we could have potentially cheesed 3 through. They didn't have an open mana, and before I played Tablet of Completion, we could have powered up the Phyrexian and then swung, and they might have taken it because we do have green in here, so Forge is great. That is great, man. Okay. So, Tablet of Completion. I would love for the Forge to land before we proliferate with the Vorrac. Let's see if it happens. Unfortunately, we won't get the ramp on completion because we'd have to use the facade. We'd have to tap facade to get the oil counter to use the ramp anyways. X is 3. Darn. Well, Jin is a 4/4. Yeah, we couldn't successfully swing this turn because it could have been anything. It could have been like a Fading Hope for Inquisitor, then a successful block on Jin. Oh, actually, it was already a 3/4, right? I gotta pay more attention to the board state, guys. So no attacks. I guess the best bet would be to tap this. And I guess this is only as a sorcery too, so... At that point, using the other facade for another oil counter on the tablet would have been fine in case we have to draw with it, but them having Haughty Jin, like, yeah, terror, oh buddy. See, we're in trouble. So, facade number 3. We can actually go... So we're gonna go oil counter, right? All this to draw. And then pay 1. Make sure that we can still play the Vorrac. We could have played around a Make Disappear too, though. Ooh, Filigree Sylex. Okay. Filigree would be a great way to get rid of a couple Haughty Jins when it comes time. I think this is the turn that we try the Vorrac, though. Oh, it lands. It sure does. So I'm just going to go ahead and decline. We don't need the land. It proliferates pretty great, man. So Filigree Sylex, actually, if we can get some damage through next turn, Filigree Sylex 10 damage to the face. Oh, second Haughty Jin. That means we want to get this to 3 and then get rid of their Jins. Yeah, Sylex is great, man. It's really great. So we need the Monumental Facades. So how do I want to do this? I guess we'll go green, green, right? Filigree Sylex. Hope that it doesn't get countered. Nice, okay. So then we go all 3 facades. What a process, guys. It's like I said, I think it's technically... I think it's a rough deck to play. I kind of wish I would have practiced with it first, but... Yeah, because we're going to have a lot of options, like, all the time. We can still play the other Tablet of Completion, too. It's all three mana cards, so it's going to hit the Vorrac, too, unfortunately. It's still not, like, worth the swing there, though, I would say. Jin is out of here. Very nice. So, Tablet of Completion. We could draw on the first one instead. I don't mind that. I think getting the second tablet down is fine too, though. In case we see like another Vorrac off the top. I think we actually saved this to cycle. I don't think we play that. We have more than enough mana on the board as of right now. Alright, not bad, guys. Taking out 2 Haughty Jins. Oh no, they found more flyers though. Fairy Mastermind. The 2 mana 2/1. Flash Flying. If an opponent draws their second card each turn, you draw a card. Well, that's not good. It's going to keep their hand nice and stocked, and we planned on drawing with the tablets. And the cycling, too. Crap. Well, I guess they're just going to get some extra cards for now. Let's see what we see. Crucible. Okay. Yeah, their terror blocks pretty well. Urabrask Forge needs to come down before combat to get the oil. Where's our red source right there? I'm going to keep Crucible back. I'm gonna go red, keep a facade, keep 2 facades, I mean. Let's get the Forge down. I'm sorry, opponent. There's so much to do. So much to think about. Like, there's counters just spread out everywhere, and the 3 facades you gotta really think about too, because where are you gonna be putting those extra oil counters, you know what I mean? So, I actually think it's fine. There's no guarantee that we're gonna see another Vorrac this game. So relying on Proliferate is not worth it, instead of just like plugging into the Forge. And I think Forge could help us get there big time, so do this now so we're not holding up the opponent's turn. There's nothing else we can really do with it. Maybe this is the turn we play the Jetmir's Garden, but I don't know. I kind of like having both of these in hand. So Facade can help that ramp even further. Actually, if we would have kept this all open, maybe they would have taken the 3. I think we had a chance to trick the opponent into some extra damage throughout this game, but generally speaking, opponents don't fall for it, so I don't know. Every time, like if we go Jetmir's Garden, the Mastermind draws them anyways. I guess this is the turn we play the Garden for the sake of just being able to play whatever we end up drawing off the tablets when it comes time. Yeah, they completely restocked their hand. Oh, buddy, going up to 4. Another Forge is terrific, guys. Fading Hope. That's tough. That's tough. Well, we can't take the 7. We're definitely chumping the Terror. Down to 8. I love the second Forge, but I think we're in trouble. Another Terror, guys. Oh, Depopulate off the top. What a draw. Even a Spell Pierce we'd be able to pay, so I mean, make sure we tap the right ones. White, Depopulate. Look at that, guys. Holy cow. That's something else, dude. It really is. Let's get the second Forge down. Go you, red, have 2 mana available. Second Forge. Spell Pierce. You, resolve, auto pay. Forge hits. Let's go, guys. Dude, this is sick. Oh, man. The opponent's technically still in this, I would say, but man, we're set up now. Like, they need something terrific. They need another Haughty Djinn off the top. Impulse, that'll help them find it. They've seen 2 Terrors. There it is! There it is, guys! Let's go! All right. It's great to take down Mono Blue. It really is. That was epic. That was grand. That was everything I wanted the deck to be. Ah, I'm happy right now, man. That was good stuff. Let's hop into the next one, though, huh? I don't know if it could get much better than a victory like that. That Depopulate was so good that I'm already thinking about that 4th one. We have 3, and then we have the one Burn Down the House as our board wipes, so I could see keeping the burn, going up the 4th, but it depends what you're seeing too. But man, yeah, just seeing that Depopulate, it makes me feel like we need all 4, but probably not. We're fine for now. We go first, and this is not the greatest hand. With only 2 mana, this might actually be a mulligan, guys. 24 land. Churning Reservoir doesn't hit anything. I'm gonna mulligan, unfortunately. Oh, much better, much better. Wow. Yeah, keep 6, and I wish I could keep them all. Let's go with ditching the Urabrask's Forge. We have all 4 of them in here, and right now I think everything else in this hand is a little bit better. Everything's coming out tapped. We don't have a turn 2, actually, so sending an Inquisitor would have been fine. Oh! Unless we see an untapped source. Very nice. Norn's Inquisitor getting cut down isn't too bad. It did not. Crafted Butcher. Cool. Okay. Save Vorrac for now. Churning Reservoir is fine. Just go Inquisitor number 2. Get the Churning Reservoir down. Have Vorrac for next turn. Seems pretty cool. We might have... I don't think we would have been able to cheese the one through. I don't think they would have cared that much about saving the Butcher back. Yeah, we might as well put an oil counter on an Inquisitor, right? That coming in tapped doesn't matter too much. Actually, it does. Let's go Sundown Pass and power up both of these while we can. Because while the Inquisitor's on, they get the extra counters now. A double block into one of these wouldn't be bad because we would be trading a Trespasser. So I don't mind that. They might actually take 8 here. They do take 8. Switches to nighttime, unfortunately, because, yeah, we just powered up Incubators. Take out a 4/4. Ah, this Vorrac would have hit the board so strong, though. Full swinging. Block the 4, let it take the 2. I don't want them to flip this right away, even though it's just a couple zombies. I think we still chump. Make them work for it, right? Another Churning Reservoir. Okay. Fortunately, we don't have the mana to activate the Reservoir's ability. The oil's not doing too much this time round. But, yeah, if we would have been able to... Like, if that was our first hand... Okay, decline. We definitely don't need a land here. And we get to put an extra counter on the battle, too. Very nice. Keep chump. Swing for 5. Or swing for 6. Threaten lethal. Because we have our 3/3. Let's keep the chump blocker back for now. And see if we can swing with the Vorrac instead. We're back to daytime. Trespasser gets blocked by Vorrac very well. Sheoldred still being a big old pain in the butt over there. Let's put the oil counters on the reservoirs, respectively, right? Yeah, Sheoldred is going to be tough to get around, guys. So let's do... You know what could have been a janky card to add to this that could have been pretty neat? The Luxor, right? That could have been cool. I don't know how good it would have been in here, but that could have been a cool card. Let's go wide with the oil, I guess. No, Churning Reservoir. And then we activate ability. Gotta try to go wide here. Sheoldred's gonna gain them life. I'm gonna keep the Jetmir's Garden back for now. Yeah, the good news is Churning Reservoir got to do something this turn. Yeah, 5/6 Sheoldred blocks the 5/5 very well. We're gonna need something, man. We're gonna need something a little bit better. Goes back to nighttime. Crap. That's gonna be happening a lot in a build like this where we don't always play cards. Cruelty reveals our hand. It is, in fact, a Jetmir's Garden. Alright, back to us, and we're just gonna, again, put them on the reservoirs, because we do have the Sylex in here. Like, Sylex off the top would have won us the game, actually. 10 damage to their face, right? Because we have 5 here, 3 here, and 2 here. So yeah, Sylex off the top. Actually, we could still get there. We can still get there. Instead of going Forge. We might be wide enough to go Forge. Forge. Facade onto Forge. Keep Garden back for now, right? They're going back up to 11. A full swing here is not going to do it. They take 4 damage and block all the good stuff. No, they take 3 damage, block all the good stuff successfully. So we hold for now. It's really, really risky holding, guys. It is. But if we can get the Forge Trample above the Shieldred, that's the big thing. They're going to be losing 3 from the Cruelty, so yeah, technically a Filigree Sylex off the top would still be able to get us there. We have enough oil counters on this board state, so. Invasion. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what are they doing? They're keeping Shieldred. Oh, now they're going to flip this, get 2 zombies. Oh, come on, Filigree Sylex off the top. Let's see it, buddy. Let's see it. Okay, well, Forge. Okay. Land isn't bad. Oil onto Forge. Power up both of those again. Get some 1/1s to block. Let's see what they end up doing to our 6/1. Because it has trample, so yeah, they go double block here, which is probably the best bet for them, I would say. Down to 6. I guess activate ability. I feel like we should keep Jetmir's Garden for the cycle. Activate ability. So now we have some chump blockers. Yeah, so we go Churning Reservoir, buff the Forge twice again next turn. I think it might be looking good for us, but I think this is anyone's game for sure. I think Shieldred's a big old pain, and it's gonna hold us up a lot, but we could still get there. Technically, we just need that Filigree Sylex, man. 10 damage to their face, you know? Unless they draw here, they could. Invoke Despair's gone. We don't gotta worry about that. So that's good news. Oh, I would have loved to see the Shieldred ban. I know, you guys have been hearing me complain about that all week, but man, this card is still such a pain in the butt. Probably just, I mean, I can't be alone, but it's probably an extra pain in the butt for me because I tend to not run as much spot removal as I probably should be running, so. Yeah, we'll chump that. Menace, chump it. Yeah, they're back up to 10, so they definitely have enough here. The Glutton gained them enough. Okay, Sylex off the top. Let's see it, man. Sylex off the top. We can still get 10 damage to their face. Wow, Depopulate. Wow, dude, the Depopulate just showing up when it should. I'll tell you what, dude. Depopulate showing up when it should, man. Urabrask's board is a 9/1, and technically, if we had like a second facade, that would have been what we did. But if I full control and this sacrifices, I can use the Churning Reservoir, right? No? I wait. Activate only if an oil counter, or a permanent with an oil counter, not just any creature. My bad, guys. My bad. That's my bad. That's funny. Yeah, Shieldred doesn't get him there because trample on the Forge, so they need spot removal in their hand. Let's draw. Tablet of Completion, wow. I mean, I guess we try. I don't want to draw on Garden and then die next turn or something. You know what I mean? Like going down to 6 and then they swing with Shieldred or whatever. Create a 2/2. So technically, I think we got there. Cutdown can't hit a 12/1, so they can double block. I don't know what there could be for one swamp, so let's see it. What is it? I have no idea. It's 1 mana for something, man. Oh, maybe not. Okay. It was held up there for a second, so I got really concerned, like trying to rack my brain for life gain or something. Dude, how cool was that? I'll tell you what, man, the Depopulate showing up right when we needed it again. What are you guys seeing in the meta? Because maybe that 4th Depopulate is something we really need to consider, huh? This has been great, dude. This has been a great time. I feel like the build is pretty hard to run, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like, overall, I thought... I was concerned that I didn't practice with the build, you know what I mean? There's just, as long as you think through the counters and everything, as long as you think through where all the counters are. Oh. We're 20 seconds into finding the next match, guys. What's going on? It's the longest I've seen in a while. Uh-oh. Well, hold on. We might have to edit that out, but I was talking about the build there, so... Oh, there we go. We're fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, it's been months since I had to edit out like a huge section. Like 20 seconds? That was a decent amount of time. I apologize for that, guys. Luckily, I was chatting. Okay, no white source. Reservoir not hitting much. Vorrac is meh, unless we see the third mana. We go first. You know what, man? It was such a decent day. We're gonna risk it. If we lose the last game, it's whatever. It's fine. You know what I mean? But if we risk it and it works out really nicely, like we see a white source off the top here, then it's looking golden. Like, this is a pretty good hand if we see that white source. Inquisitor. Okay, now we really need that white source, huh? All right. I risked it, guys. I did, so let's see it. The land is majority white source. We have 24 in here. And actually, any land would work because Vorrac can help us find it. Well, any untapped land because we're up against mono red. But yeah, Jetmir's Guard. I mean, hey, ask it, you shall receive, I guess. We're going to take 5 from the Commando. Oh, no. Oh, no, guys. So, I mean, yeah, yeah, it was a mulligan, but I like the risk there. Watch, okay. Yeah, so we're way too behind now. So Vorrac can help us find the land and block one of these. Feldon can't be blocked well. Urabrask's Forge is really bad against mono red. Inquisitor doesn't do much, so it's Vorrac. Find a land that we can play. Copperline is a tapped one. A white source would have been decent, because if we could have survived next turn, which I don't think we do, then a Depopulate off the top would have been good, but now we don't have double white on the board, so... Yeah, this time, the mana held us up, but it was also just my decision not to mulligan there. The good news is, since it's mono red, they finished us up pretty fast. Let's see, 6, and... Let's see what you find on that Feldon, buddy. Yeah, because we're super dead, man. Oh, we are super dead. Stoke the flames. Why didn't they play it? They're like giving us a turn here. Alright, let's see if we find a white source on the Vorrac. Aw, I thought they were gonna let us play out the turn. I was kind of curious to see what was on top there, actually. Yeah, the good news is, since it was such a fast one because it was mono red, we get to go into one more. So that's good news, at least. And I promise I'll mulligan if it's a bad hand for the last one. Unless I break my promise. No, I'm just teasing. Alright, here we go, right into the next one. Honestly, there might have been something wrong with the game when we were waiting that 20 seconds, because I haven't seen that in a long while, man. No, where are the white sources? At least we have 3 this time. We can get Vorrac down on time. Vorrac can help us find the white source. I guess it's not a bad hand. It's just the problem is the deck is majority white. Opponent! Come back, opponent! I really want to play these out. Guys, sometimes I get the question, why do I keep those in? The hands. We only have a limited number of games per video. And so it's nice to see the hands. And don't worry, we have like we have the chapters at the bottom of the video and timestamps in the description. And when I include that game, I'll go ahead and put like early concede from opponent or whatever I end up putting there. So If you don't like those, if you don't like to see the sample hands, you can always skip on ahead. Wow, the mana's been rough, dude. Sure. At least we have whatever land we see depopulate on turn 4 if we really need to. Like, we needed to see depopulate against that mono red to survive, so... Yeah, I'm gonna try it. Like, I actually don't think this is bad, and I don't consider this a mulligan hand necessarily. Yeah, we're really just splashing that green, so we need to see that red source as soon as possible, but at least we have Norn's Wellspring. Gets us, well, it's gonna be Facade, Wellspring, right? Got some Legends over there. Depopulate is fine against Legends. They get a card draw, but, you know, Legends goes pretty wide pretty fast. Oh, Kaito. Okay. That's fun. We don't get to see Kaito Shizuki too often. Norn's Inquisitor is pretty good, man. Okay. So let's go Plains Inquisitor. And we will go ahead and plug an oil counter onto the Wellspring here. Get that ready for a card draw when it comes time. Yeah, I guess we could have mulliganed, but I don't know if it was necessarily a mulligan hand. You know what I mean? I think this is all completely fine. Even though we don't have that red source right now, it's still playing out. Norn's Wellspring can get us a draw. If Inquisitor dies, we get that Scry as well, so... We'll see, we'll see. Churning Reservoir. Oh no. The draws have been bad, but... There's Wellspring. At least we can swing at the Shizuki, so... We do this before... Wait. I play this to play around and make disappear first. Because make disappear is definitely something that would exist in a deck like this. Well, I guess we power this up and try to take out the Kaito. Let's do this. It's a 3-3. Probably dies. I guess one to face is fine. I'm not sure, like we can't block this ninja anyways, so a go for the throat does not hit the Phyrexian because it is an artifact, so it has to be something else here. Experimental Augury. This was a fun time, guys. It really was. Even though right now we're getting bad draws, I convinced myself, man. I still think that opening hand wasn't too bad. They got the Proliferate on the Kaito too, but we still had the 3 power thanks to the Inquisitor. So that was all really cool interactions going on there. Siphon Insight. This is not a Legends build, guys. This is not Legends. This might be Esper Control. Or at the very least, it's just Dimir Control running the Rafine's Tower for the sake of cycling. And just a better mana base, I guess. Speaking of a better mana base, there we go. We got the red source. Very nice. Unfortunately, it's only one red source, but it's something. All right. Let's get the Urabrask Forge down and get the ball rolling here. Still have so much mana open, though. Oh, no. No, my Forge. No, how could you, you monster? Well, we have 4 here. This is sorcery only. Actually, swing first, because they might kill one of these. They do not. I guess we'll go for the draw then. This is sorcery speed only. And we can tap that, remove, and draw. I already played the land for the turn. I guess we do it on their turn. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Siphon Insight. See what they hit here. Or it doesn't show us right away, does it? Exile one of them face down, yeah. I wonder if they hit something good. It could be. Probably our red source, right? Our second red source. Wow, they took a Karn from us, bro. All right, they're tapped out now, so I'm gonna get that card draw. Ooh, Vorrac, nice. The Karn would have been cool, I guess. Depopulate hits. 2 creatures for 2 creatures. We get the Churning Reservoir down. We could go... See, it's too bad. So we'll get the Norn's Wellspring going. Churning Reservoir. Maybe we swing. Well, we definitely swing to get at least 1 damage through. And then still play Depopulate, probably, right? Like, they're both dying is the thing. So we want to at least get that 1 damage through. Okay. Get some scries here. Vorrac, okay. I don't mind, actually. Another Vorrac, I don't mind it, do I? No, I'll send it. I don't know what I'm looking for necessarily, but second red source could be good, I guess. Nah, I'll send it. Again, I don't really know what I'm looking for, but... Take everything out. A couple more onto the Wellspring. We're ready to draw. Migloz is probably good enough to keep on top. Oh, they have the Siphon Insight, though. Crap. I don't want to give that to them, so I'm going to scry it to the bottom. Yeah, they have flashback on 2 Siphon Insights, so we better just scry anything that looks good to the bottom. And I should have kept the land on top then. Crap. Ah, Siphon Insight. That's a card we don't get to see too often. It's an interesting one to play around whenever... Hey! That's my land! That's funny. This is like the perfect deck to go up against with the Urabrask's Forge. Maybe I should have been a little bit more cautious there overall. So we can restock our hand pretty nicely. But I think we're just going to try the Vorrac instead. And try to get the Proliferate down. This deck is pretty cool, man. I've been enjoying myself thoroughly. Make disappear? Okay. See, that's not too bad. We might actually be able to power this up as a 3/3. And hopefully the game doesn't send us too much overtime here. Trespasser brings him back up to 16. We do have our Depopulate still. We might go for a couple draws on the Wellsprings. See what we get. Another Reservoir. Oh my goodness, guys. Alright, we'll draw 1. See what we see. When we have 1 red source, the 3 reservoirs is pretty bad. We can power this up successfully and swing in. Or we just go Depopulate. Or we just go draw again. Let's go draw. We have Churning Reservoir to play, and Churning Reservoir to get us a 1/1/2. Instead of powering up the other one, is that worth it? Probably not. It's probably worth powering up the 3/3 here and swinging, because they might trade Trespasser into it. And Go for the Throat still doesn't hit it or anything, so Go for the Throat Inquisitor. Yeah, honestly, Go for the Throat doesn't hit too much in this deck, so... Filigree Sylex. I think we keep that on top. I think that could easily help us close up this game. Except they're gonna take it with the Siphon Insight. Oh, do I send it then? Probably not. I don't know. There's a chance that they don't. That's right. It's not a 3/3 because they killed the Inquisitor before it came out. Anyways, there's a chance they don't play the Siphon Insight, but yeah. We got more draws on the Wellspring. Next turn. Wow, GG opponent. I'm surprised by that, honestly. I guess they looked at the Wellsprings and decided I was going to get some card advantage, maybe? Maybe they just didn't want to play out a long one either. The Karn Legacy was going to be excellent to hit this board with the Wellspring abilities and everything, and the Reservoir abilities. Yeah, the Karn Legacy Reforged would have been excellent in that game. And so maybe that's what we would have played out there. Filigree Sylex was on top, so if they didn't take it with the Siphon Insight, that would have been great. We had a lot of great stuff coming to us, guys. Crack a pack here, March of the Machine. What are we gonna get? What do we got? Oh, Invasion of Alara. Guys, I think that's my 4th one. And I'm pretty sure I pulled all 4 out of packs too, so that's cool, man. Maybe we'll have to make a deck with that at some point. Naya Oil, let's see. Okay, here's the deck list again, guys. I don't even know what to say about this one. This was a lot of fun. There is a ton of power packed in. Wow. Just got to be careful with how well you're drawing and your opening hands. On that note, I could see going up more dual land if you drop a single Monumental Facade. Maybe it's just the Mycosynth Gardens, like I said earlier. Maybe that would be good, but I think Monumental Facade was pretty key in a lot of those games, so having all 4, I don't know, man. Just being able to plug those extra counters, it didn't hold us up too often, and I don't think it will usually. I think we did get a little unlucky in some of those games, not seeing white sources. That being said, if that's happening a lot to you, then I could see dropping a Rockfall Vale, going up the 3rd Sundown Pass. Make sure you have the white source and the red source for like the Churning Reservoir, the double white on the Depopulate and stuff. As for the amount of red, I think there's enough. I mean, look at all the red sources in here, man. Those are all the red sources, so I think overall, some of the land draws were unlucky, but look, man, it's a 3-color deck, so we can't expect too much. There's all the green sources there, and then the white sources. There's all the white sources there, so it's a pretty good balance overall in the mana base, and I guess technically it won't hold you up too often. And yeah, what are you guys going up against? Because this Depopulate was pretty important in a lot of those games. Do we want to go up the 4th? Maybe. What would I drop? Maybe the Burn Down the House. It doesn't make too much sense to get rid of one board wipe to go up the other one, but I guess like 5 mana might not happen as much as you would think in this deck, and when you do, you'd rather be playing out multiple things at the same time or doing multiple things on the same turn, like using your Depopulate and using that 1 extra mana to activate your Norn's Wellspring to draw a card rather than pay all 5 for a Burn Down the House. That being said, there is a reason I added the Burn Down the House, because obviously those devils do wonders often, so really depends what you're seeing, man. I wouldn't drop the Migloz because it comes out with 5 oil counters, which could help you close up late games with a Filigree Sylex and stuff too, which again, if we would have seen Sylex a little more today, we would have closed out a few of those games with that 10 damage. We definitely had enough oil on the board in those games too, so that's just another reason to keep the Monumental Facades around. The Proliferate on the Vorrac was amazing. The Norn's Inquisitor was awesome, just being able to potentially have a couple creatures, but also working well with the artifacts, working well with like the Karn, just like working well with the board wipes, because you can wipe the board and you still have your incubators back ready to transform later on too. I don't know, man, a lot of synergy here. I could see going down to maybe 3 Urabrask's Forge going up that Depopulate, but the Forge works so well with Depopulate because you're wiping that board, but then Forge is still going to get you those swings every turn, so whoo, buddy, lots to talk about with this one. Oh, maybe we could drop the Progenitor Exarch, but I know I like having that extra incubate, and sometimes, you know, sometimes you want to play this out as a 5 mana card, so I do like the 2. Maybe go down 1 Reservoir. If you do that, that could, yeah, 1 Reservoir go up the 4th Depopulate. Again, depends what you're seeing though. So at this point, I sound like a broken record, huh? Let me know what you thought of the build down in the comments. If you made it this far into the video, then for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one.